We're trying to get to the original paint.
It's still there. The paint's under there. We just got to bring it out. I've never done wet sanding.
Yeah.
Anyway, and this is a cesspool down here. If you hate it, hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and today we're back at Fox Mustang Restoration, but for a change, guys, I'm actually going to try to work and do a video on one of my vehicles here. Believe it or not, I have two vehicles here. I have the 69 Ford F100. I also have, of course, my 88 SSP, and guys, I really want to get back and cracking on that car. I believe the last time I worked on it was maybe October or November. I can't remember for sure, somewhere around there, but yeah, it's been quite a while, right? And so that's what I'm gonna try to do today, get inside. Both vehicles are inside, actually. I think we're gonna do something to the SSP. I'm not quite sure yet. I've got some time and I wanna get a little bit of work in, and there's still a lot to do, but the one thing I will also mention, the reason why I have not been working on the cars, if you've been following the channel for a while, is because I had hurt my back. For now though, let me go ahead and get inside. It's actually cold out here, and I should probably zip my coat up, right? I've got a beanie, but I didn't zip my coat up. You know, sometimes I just do those kind of things. Anyway, enough talking, let me get inside and we'll get started on today's project. All right, we're inside. I have decided it is gonna be SSP today, not truck. Matt's here by the truck. Hey. Fox Resto, yeah, you are Fox Resto. Yep. You are Fox Resto. I think I was gonna say co-owner of Fox Mustang Restoration, but no, I'm just gonna say he's Fox Resto.
I am co-owner.
Yeah, he is co-owner, because you're not really Fox Resto, you're half of it.
There you go.
Where's the other half?
And there in the warmth.
Yeah, she's smart. So anyway, we're doing SSP. I told him Matt I might do truck stuff today, but we're doing SSP stuff. I don't know if they're gonna like this or not, but ultimately, it doesn't really matter because it's my car, so sorry. What we are about to do is we're about to make this car look a lot more like this car. And this is also an FHP. In case you're new to the channel, this is obviously an FHP. And this might not be so obvious, but it is. So Matt has an idea, and it's something we talked about, and he's gonna show me how to do it. If you notice, guys, you can see some of the tan paint here if we want to take the windshield out. Obviously remove the quarters, got tan, but yeah, it used to be black and tan, right, Matt?
Yep.
What we want to do essentially, we want to try and get as much of this tan to show up, which it's been, I guess, painted over at the auction, right? Is that how it worked at auction?
Yeah, it could have been at auction. It could have been afterwards.
Okay.
I think they were supposed to do some type of a cover-up of the tan because it's illegal in Florida.
Like, I know my antennas, this Bondo, I guess is this a Bondo spot too?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, yeah, so had some antennas there at some point, but I want to see if I can get this car to look as close to Matt's car as possible today, because I plan to road race it, plan to track it. And I think that'll just be cool. Actually, honestly, this was your idea.
Well, yeah, and we're gonna try to do it without painting it.
Yeah, without painting it, right. It's still there, the paint's under there, we just gotta bring it out.
Yep.
So it's gonna look weird and ratty, but...
Yeah. So you had an idea for a rat rod look.
I did, that's what I'm going for. At first stage, eventually we are gonna restore it and retire it, but that's a long way away, let's be honest.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool that the original paint is underneath there, and this is something I had learned from my mentor. He had an old, I think it was a 69 Z28. He wanted to see what the original,
nice car.
Yeah, he was a big GM guy. He wanted to see what the original paint was because it had been painted several times. So he was actually, very slowly wet sanded through the layers of paint, and you could see each different color almost perfectly through it. So I was thinking that might be a good rat rod look for this, to have like kind of a scuffed up, maybe just leave a little bit of the black, but like a transparent black with the tan. See what it looks like, but that might be a pretty cool look.
So this is the first stage, so we're gonna find out. We're gonna take a crack at this, guys. I don't know how far we're gonna get today.
We don't even know what the paint is underneath that, if there's some missing or what.
Right, maybe it has something underneath the black besides the tan. I don't know.
You never know, we'll
find
out.
Yeah, what do you got over here? You got some water and stuff? What is this?
So we're just gonna do some wet sanding.
I've never done wet sanding.
So we have our sanding pads. It's like a medium density. The biggest reason for these is if I was to take a piece of sandpaper and go like this with my hands, what's gonna happen? Well, here, let's do this.
By the way, can't mess it up, guys. It needs a paint job. So.
Yeah, right. So we're just gonna take sandpaper too. Yeah. We have our wet dry sandpaper here.
This does wet or dry? It's called wet dry.
Wet or dry.
Okay.
You see wet / dry.
Oh yeah.
So you can use it dry, but it's also will hold together when it's wet. And the reason you do that is while you're sanding, the water will help wash away the material that you're sanding. If you don't wet sand it, if you don't use water, all that material will ball up underneath the paper and start gouging and scoring and smearing underneath your sandpaper and basically just creating a bigger problem for yourself.
Okay, make it look a lot worse.
Yeah, that's why you use the water. And now we're gonna go over why we use the pad, because if I take a piece of paper like this and I sand it like this, look what happens. It's only sanding where my fingertips are making contact. So even though all the paper's making contact, it's only making contact with the car where I'm pushing down, which is only where my fingers or palm is. So it's very uneven sand. You can even see right here on the sandpaper, it's only certain spots. So this is where this comes in handy. It equals out the pressure. You can get it with adhesive backed. I just don't have that right now, but just fold it around, and then what you do is, and you can see it makes contact.
Oh, a lot more space.
A lot more, yeah, a lot more there. And this is a softer one, so I was pushing pretty hard, so it still focused it, but it helps spread it out a little bit more.
You're gonna need a harder one then, don't you think?
Yeah, actually, let me go see if I can find one.
Okay. So yeah, we're doing it, guys. I want to see how much of the paint I can get out. I don't know. You guys probably already know from the thumbnail how this turned out, but might as well go for it. My back is still, like I said, not 100% for now. Matt's gonna find some stuff, and we're gonna get into sanding. All right, so you got, well, this is a lot bigger.
Yeah, I couldn't find the small block, but I found the big block, and you see it's real hard.
Yeah.
This is a medium. You can feel that one. It's just got a little bit of medium pressure. And then here's a soft. Big difference there.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. This one, very easy to squish.
Yeah, this one here,
a little harder.
This one you would use for, like, you know, areas that are really curved.
Okay.
But you also need to be lighter on the pressure, because with this, the more you push, it's going to transfer to pinpoint. Whereas in this, it's just, you know, a hard block, so it's going to be pretty even.
Is it also labeled too? Oh yeah, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, just to give you an idea of how it sands. You know, see how much more even that was on the sanding? So that's where softness of the blocks, like we'll go to this, where is it, the super soft block here. It helped, but
yeah, that's
the same sandpaper. Yeah, but you see this one just covers.
I don't know if it's showing up for the camera, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to show on the camera. But you see some
well.
swirls where my fingertips were, but that's the difference between the two.
So which one are we going to be using? And you didn't put water on either one of those.
I didn't, just because it was just a little test spot.
Okay.
So yeah, just to use water, I just got a bowl of water, and since it is cold outside, that is hot water, so our fingertips don't freeze. And then yeah, just.
You're using the soft.
Using the medium right now.
Oh, the medium, okay.
Yeah, and you can see it.
Oh yeah,
it
the paint's coming up.
It helps wash away that debris so it doesn't build up. This is a 400 grit sandpaper. We may go to a harsher grit to cut it a little bit faster.
Okay. Which would actually be a lower number, right? Like a 300,
correct,
200?
Correct. Yeah, I think I've got some 220 over there. This is a 400, and there's a huge difference between 400 and 220.
Now, I'm not seeing any paint yet, so we got to do this a while, I'm guessing.
So, no, what we're going to do is I'm going to get the harsher sandpaper.
All right, let's find out what that looks like. So Matt got a 220 and an 80. Which one do you want to try first?
We're going to go with the 220.
All right.
We don't want to cut too much
Yeah,
at one
it's always
time.
easier to step down, right?
Exactly, because here's the thing. If you're cutting too much too fast, even if you do 1 or 2 swipes, you pick it up, you could cut straight through the paint we're trying to save.
Okay.
This one's a little bit nicer. It's adhesive back too, so it'll actually stick to the pad.
Oh. All right, this is a 220, okay. You still get it wet, looks like.
Now I'm thinking maybe we'll go to the 80. This paint's pretty thick. It's nice that we're not really too worried about the paint, that we can experiment on it.
Yeah, we don't recommend doing this on your car unless you don't like it.
Sand Tar Heel? Go straight to the 80.
No.
So being that this is a harsher grit, I'm actually not going to push as hard.
Oh, okay. Less force.
Less force. You can actually see it balling up the material now.
Yeah, the 80's cutting through. But we don't know how thick this paint they sprayed over top of it.
Starting to come through right there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. That almost looks white though.
Yeah, it does.
Now see how harsh that is? How it's cutting into there like on deep gouges?
Yep.
That's that 80 grit. That might be, that doesn't look tan. That might be some Bondo. I thought I was showing you how to do this.
You're showing me.
That's a good point. Now you see how like that's starting to show? So I'll work away from that. But I'm pretty sure that's probably Bondo right there.
So you just, yeah.
Yeah, that is not tan. So that's either a primer or a Bondo. That may be a primer. Maybe your tan's underneath the primer. Just keep going.
Right, if they repainted it, they might have put primer over it.
Right. Oh, there's the tan. I think so.
I think you're right.
I think it's starting to come through.
Yeah. I think there's a primer. That looks like primer over top.
They put a primer down on top.
More water.
Oh yeah, that's the tan. Look at that.
Oh yeah, there's more of it coming.
See it starting to come through the primer.
At that, guys.
There we go, factory tan. So now what you got to do is you got to work the high and low spots. The high spots are obviously going to be where you've already sanded through to the tan. The low spots are going to be where there's still gray. You only want to work around the low spots, because if you keep hitting the high spots, we're going to go through the tan.
Get rid of the tan,
on the
right?
factory primer, and then what's the point?
Yeah.
We're at the 220, right? So once we start getting it close like there, let's stop right as the tan is starting to show. And then once we do a large portion of that, we'll switch over to either a 400, or if that's too harsh, if that cuts too fast,
800.
I have a 600 here.
Oh, 600, okay.
Yep, I've got all the way up to 3,000, which is all the way for like polishing, but the work that we're doing, we're gonna stay under 1,000.
All right, so that's the general idea, guys. I'm gonna go ahead, set up the tripod, put you on time lapse, and we'll see what it looks like. This is gonna be fun. All right, pausing the time lapse here. It's not going so well. The paint back here is pretty thick. You can see we've gotten tan in a couple spots, but for how long we've been working on it, not too well. But check this out. This is kind of cool. There's just Bondo on this spot, so you can see the DA for Florida. So we had an idea. Matt had an idea. He usually has the ideas around here. And there we go. This was covering the back end. This is the Bondo. So I'm going to see if I can knock this out. Maybe we'll at least get the Bondo knocked off that way. So here we go. All right, and what is this, Matt? Like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, something like that. You got that fast forward motion.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 seconds for you guys, or at least 30.
I'm guessing about an hour and a half.
Yeah, at least. Obviously, didn't make too much progress over here. This was throwing us off here, Matt. Throwing me off. I guess throwing both of us off, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is Bondo, which happens to be close to the same color as the original tan.
Right, yeah, total coincidence. But you can see the way it is, and we're trying to get to the original paint. So you got your black paint, you got a layer of primer, then they put Bondo down, then there's another layer of primer, and then the original paint.
So it was a little harder than we thought. I thought this was gonna be a lot easier, to be honest.
I thought it was too,
Yeah.
but hey, you don't know until you do it.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the look? I actually like this. So this is how this side would look pretty much. That we burned through, that's metal.
Yeah, but that would be from a dent going up. So like somebody closed the trunk lid down on something and
so it was a high spot and it...
Exactly.
Okay.
So that just burned through within just a couple of swipes.
And this is a cesspool down here, by the way. No, let me give him a better look at it. But I think, honestly, I think that looks pretty cool. If we can get the whole thing to look like that, but it's a lot of work. You had an idea, Matt. You had an idea for a better tool, right?
Yeah, yeah. I get an orbital sander, and these discs right here, or these sanding discs, are adhesive back, and they're made to stick to an orbital sander pad.
Yeah.
And it should be able to rip through that a lot faster than
we
we're
were
doing
with
right
our
now.
hand. Yeah.
At bare minimum, a heck of a lot easier on our arms.
Yeah. I actually like this look, and I think for going around the racetrack, I think that'd be pretty cool. So you like it as well, right, Matt?
Oh, definitely. I think it's going to look cool when you got that whole sand into the whole, the whole scheme like that.
Yeah, yeah, a whole car like this, it'd be. We'll see. Well, I guess it even comes up to here, right? We can check the other car, but I think
it's pretty much about here.
Yeah, pretty much that long.
Right about there.
One of the things we did say we might do, or I thought about, is only doing one side. So depending on which side you saw it on, it would be black or tan. I don't know about that, but anyway, let's see what the viewers think. So let us know down below if you liked that I did this. I'm gonna say me, because if you didn't like it, I don't want Matt to feel bad. He just helped me. It was my decision, not his. And if you think it's cool, let us know. If you hate it, that's fine too. We accept you as well. So put it down below and say, I don't like it, or I hate it. You don't have to be mean about it, but anyway, yeah, that's, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so thanks, Matt. Thanks for the help.
Pretty cool little rat rod idea.
Yeah, and a lot more to come on this car. Obviously, a lot more to come. So there you go, guys. That's what I was thinking about doing for the FHP, and I plan to have a lot more of the car done went a little slower than we thought. That's all right, but that's kind of the vision. You can see a lot of the vision, and it's gonna be very exciting to get there. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit. Main reason is my back. I'm seeing a chiropractor Matt hooked me up with. That's been helping a lot, doing much better, able to do some work today. That's just what's going on there. If you guys sticking around till the end, I think pretty much, you know, you're in the videos for me, and I appreciate it. Have a lot of loyal subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Last thing I want to say before we close the video out here, got a couple items here. Want to remind you guys about the shirts. They're still on the website. Still got some shirts. These are on foxresto.com. You can see how they say it on the back. There we go. This is the back of it. Not just a Mustang, it's a Fox body, which those are my favorite Mustangs, obviously, as you know, on the channel. Got a little Gearhead 704 thing. This is the back of it. On the front, just a very tiny Gearhead 704, and of course, Tar Heel Fox. Gotta have that. So these are available on the site. It is the first link down in the description below. Also, on ultrafox.com, I still have the Gearhead 704 decals. They're $5, and if you buy enough on the site, obviously you get free shipping, but that's also available. I mentioned this, guys, because it helps the channel out. But you see, I got a lot of more money to spend on the FHP to get it where I want it, and a lot more time to put into it. But yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little bit different. I enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're stopping in for the first time, you want to see the car finished eventually one day, please subscribe. Also, I upload 2 times a week, every Sunday and Wednesday, so you can count on consistent content. And that's pretty much it. We'll see you here next time on Gearhead 704. This car. Oh. It sounded like he fell over. Bloopers. It's just Ultra Block. Okay, they don't have like different
Durablock.
Oh, Durablock, yeah.
You don't have to put that in there.
They'll keep watching.
Okay.
It's just gonna be extra polishing, extra rubbing for us. Grinding? I don't know what you call this. What is it? Polishing? What are we doing?
Wet sanding.
It is wet sand. All right. That's got to go in bloopers. So this definitely said Florida on it. We knew that already. Anyway, I have to refold this. It's Dell on my color.